welcome back. The fun doesn't end when it comes to this year's presidential election. Ken, has either candidate swayed you one way or the other in the past week?
Well, I think both of them have definitely swayed me away from both parties, unfortunately.
Feel the Johnson.
Yes, I'm, once again, third party ticket, whether it's,
But he can't win.
He can't win.
He can't win, so what's the point?
The point is to get the fact of the matter that we've got two horrible candidates.
I know that, but you're wasting your vote.
There's no such thing as a wasted vote, especially since I live in Maryland and my vote gets converted to Democrat anyway, no matter what.
Ron, help me out here, please.
Well, Governor Hogan won Maryland.
Yep.
You bring a good candidate out, you can win.
Yeah.
I don't think his opponent was that good of a candidate, but I think he did a good job, but he won, and I think he's brought a lot of good points to the table. I will give him credit. As we've gone throughout this week, I would never have believed in my entire life that we would be spending the time on emails in the Clinton Foundation that we are with the problems that face Donald Trump. I can't believe that a guy can tell one falsehood. He flip-flops on his flip-flops. and I've never seen in my entire life how he can do and say the things that he does, like with Putin, like today's encounter with our Navy with a Russian plane coming within 10 feet of one of our planes, because yesterday maybe he didn't like the stare or the look that Barack Obama gave him, and then to have Donald Trump in the process of talking to Putin, asking Putin to review Hillary Clinton's emails, and then the Democratic National Committee's emails are hacked, and this country is not in an outrage of the hypocrisy of Donald Trump.
But
I cannot understand that.
But the other side could make the same similar argument, and I don't disagree with you one bit. I completely agree. But I think the other side could make the same argument. The emails are an issue. We found out this week that she said, well, I didn't know what the little C. Well, she's used to see an email she sent out, so wait a minute.
What did that little C hurt? Tell me what that little C in an email hurt. Tell me.
It's not about what it hurt.
What did it hurt?
I don't understand the question.
What did it do to bring your attention to it other than her name's Hillary Clinton?
The point is, it was there, and it should not have been. It should not have been sent on a private server.
Why wouldn't the FBI or the CIA or somebody come in and monitor what server's being used?
That is the $64,000 question.
Years ago, not now, but years ago.
Yeah. Well, obviously email has changed over time. Security has changed over time. The whole basis to compare what she's doing with what previous secretaries of state have done, the threat level is completely different today than it was even 3 or 4 years ago. You would agree with that as a cybersecurity
absolutely.
person? The point is, we have two awful candidates on the face. Now, they may turn out to be great presidents. I don't know. People thought Ronald Reagan was an awful candidate, and he turned out, in my mind at least, to be a pretty good candidate. But I think.
But did he trade arms for hostages?
I have no idea.
Oh, come on now.
No, going back
I
to.
was too young at that point. Go ahead.
Since we're talking about issues that happened this week that may sway our decision if you were someone that had to make a decision, what do you think about the trip to Mexico for Trump this week?
I think it was a good idea. I think he got tripped up on the question of, well, we didn't discuss who was going to pay for the wall. And clearly, at least one side of the party of the conference discussed it. Whether he discussed it or not, we don't know. But the president of Mexico apparently discussed it.
How did he report that out? On Twitter.
We didn't discuss it.
I think it was afterwards.
On Twitter. You sound like Donald Trump Jr.
Right.
Yeah, the way they portrayed it was he came in on a very short trip, and that was not something that was a topic that was.
But apparently it was
agreed upon at the time.
The sad thing is, our nation has been so caught up with reality TV. It somehow does not surprise me that our elections have basically turned into a giant reality TV episode.
Oh, they absolutely have.
Who had a very successful 15-year run reality TV program?
That's a very good point.
The Apprentice.
Yep.
You're fired.
He knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
He's trying to fire Hillary.
Yep.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. What about Hillary's coughing fit? You know, people are saying there's an
for
underlying
health.
health condition here. Do we buy that?
Well,
It is kind of interesting that every time she seems to get on camera for a longer period of time, she suffers one of these
So,
coughing fits.
I
This
mean,
is the third?
As a presidential candidate, you're going to hide your health issues. I forget which president it was. Ron probably can tell us. But one of the presidents actually suffered from polio, I believe it
Roosevelt.
was. Yeah, it was
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. And, you know, of course, nobody really knew it during his campaign because they'd never show you him in a wheelchair or anything else. So they're going to hide your presidential candidate's health issues because you don't want somebody to appear to be weak.
Well, go back to John Kennedy. John Kennedy had severe health issues. He made it through, and you know, a bullet took him out. Harrison was on his way to the White House for the inauguration. Vince Gross says he caught pneumonia in a house
Yep.
that he was staying at Vince Gross and over towards Williamsport on the way to the White House, or you know, to Washington. So how do you deal with a health issue? Is a coughing fit? Gosh, I get coughing fits every once in a while. Does
Better
that
go to
mean-
the doctor, Ron.
Well, but you can get a coughing fit.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
at
That doesn't
least-
disqualify from president.
Yeah, I'd like to see Trump's medical records. I'd love to see his taxes. I'd love to see a lot of things. Then you would really have some things. If you think emails and what you're waiting on to come out in emails is bad, what do you think's in those taxes? What do you think's in his medical record? I looked at his medical doctor that he has, and wow, what he wrote in that letter in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that wasn't a thorough physical.
I mean, Trump wasn't even there to be examined.
Can we agree that they are both getting away with a lot of indiscretions personally and not being held
That's an
accountable?
understatement.
I mean, it seems like the supporters who are for Trump are going to be for Trump if, even as he suggests, he goes out in the middle of Central Park or wherever and shoots someone. And the same thing with Hillary Clinton. It's just, they cannot be swayed.
You know, the
And
primary
there's a
argument-
problem with that,
Right.
you know?
The primary argument for
Okay.
each candidate is, well, it's not the other candidate.
Right.
So that right there tells me you got a serious problem with your candidates.
Well, I have a problem with both candidates because as of today, maybe it'll happen tonight, there's still no health care on a daily basis, you know, for special hospitals for anybody that goes into a combat zone and comes out, you know, injured, whether it's mental or whatever it is. There is not a proposal yet to deal with that, and that's
Yeah.
as of today.
That's
I
a
agree.
shame.
Felt both candidates said.
I think we're going to find out a lot of new things this evening, even though they won't appear on the stage at the same time. We'll get you to feel more enlightened, if you will. Up next, Fast Five. Stay tuned.